Yeah,
I
I
mean,
I don't feel like we're gonna have a lot of coverage between now and then the next bit of marketing that they do, which could be like a month before release this time next year.
well, I expect them to do something else, but I don't expect to see hardly any news for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I really don't. We might hear like Disney and TCPI or whoever they, or I guess it's with Hitters of the Coast or whatever. Or not with Hitters of the Coast.
yeah.
Whoever Ravensburger goes through
It
will
might
have a big printing press or whatever, and I'm sure that's the next news you're going to hear.
it might be their own thing. I mean, they've been doing board games for a long time,
Well, I
like
think
the
they're a
1800s.
publisher. I think they're a publishing, like they publish books and shit too.
Yeah, since like the 1800s. So I'm sure they got it
So
figured out. I don't know. I'm just looking at
yeah, but
this signed copy and it's 250, and like that's what normal copies have been going for. And I haven't really been eager to hop on the Mickey, but I don't know. I just think the signature, we haven't really seen the premium go too high, but I think it's kind of cool.
I think there's so many in on the market right now, people just don't care.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm seeing. I think there is some people that do apply that, but I think there's such like a lot that I've seen actually are signed, like quite a bit.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. Like, there's a lot of them signed. A lot of people weren't doing it until like the second day, though, when they started like seeing the post. Because I remember the developers posted like on, I think it was that Discord, that they signed a handful. Like the guy literally said, like, I signed like five myself. I know so and so signed a handful, and so signed a couple. But then like the second day, like they were signing a lot. But I don't know, for 250, it's I've been at a stalemate for the Mickey. I said it's going to be hard to break below 250, but I think it should.
I've been seeing some around 200, but they're still staying strong. So
It's like I feel better at 250 with a signature on it, cuz like if they dip like to $100, like I feel comfortable picking up another and knowing that I spent more, but I'd feel better in my head that I bought the signature instead of the normal.
yeah, I mean, my thing is, I think a lot of people are paying attention, but well, I'll take that back. Sometimes we got to be careful when we're so deep in our own internet bubble.
Yeah.
We don't quite realize how few people are actually around us. And I think that is something that I wonder if we might have with these boxes and with these Mickeys just a little bit. Yeah, Disney's huge, like absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be keeping these, but you had to go to that vendor place and you had to get them there, right?
Yeah, you like they were given out to
Yeah.
everybody, I think, but you had to be there.
Hmm.
So there's one ending in 3 minutes. That's a normal one. It looks like it has some white specks. That's another thing. These cards are black bordered, so they're gonna show like damage very easily. And that signed one is in really good condition. It might be slightly shifted, but barely. But it's like if you don't get these cards graded, I mean they're gonna show every single mark on them. Magic's the same way. The dark background, they just show every little nick. And these are straight black.
So what I'm thinking then is basically the tens are going to fetch a lot of money.
Yeah, this one ending in 2 minutes. It's at 164, but you can see like white specks all across the top. I mean, it might be the background. He's looking like he has a fuzzy cloth. So I'm sure it's just that. I saw one with like glitter on it. It just shows everything. And then this signed one, I mean, it's really clean. It's got some stuff at the top right, maybe some edge wear. He's got it on a white background, so it's kind of hard to see the top right corner, but I mean, it looks clean. And then he's got a picture of the dude like signing it.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff already about um, proxies, but I doubt there's a lot of those at this point. What I'm noticing though is like, damn it, like this auction, you could have got it under 200, but most of them are around 250.
Yeah.
I kind of want the pen, but I don't have to have the pen. I just think that little pen by itself is, well, they might duplicate it. I was gonna say because I think the pen itself could be worth some money.
Yeah, I think they're selling. I mean, there might be like $50 now, but they were selling for 100. But
Yeah, I think they're like 40-ish now, but yeah, but or about 50, yeah. But I mean, those can be easily duplicated. But if they don't make that pen again, then that pen could be worth by itself hundreds of dollars,
yeah,
maybe even thousands, fucking thousands,
millions.
millions. Well, okay, so let's talk about where we think we're gonna see this box or set or whatever in a year.
Okay, hang on before you say
So
that. There's one ending in 16 hours that's signed by 4 people, but not the main guy who worked on Magic, and it's already at 281.
if you're gonna get it signed, you also got to think about the collectors who are gonna want it. They're gonna want the artists more than anything. They're gonna want only the artists, right?
I don't know.
Like, why would you
I want
want?
the designer. I want the main guy. He's like
Yeah,
the he's
that's
like
what
the
I'm saying.
Ishihara.
Well, you're gonna want either like the main guy, or you're gonna want the artist who did it as a collector. You're not gonna want these 8 people that have nothing to do with that particular card, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
And
that's
10
something
people
else.
watched this in the last 24 hours.
Okay.
There is a lot signed though.
I'm just saying, you got to think about if it was like the case itself, like the set thing, then absolutely, absolutely. But it isn't.
Yeah, I was trying to snipe one where like the case of the set was signed. I like that where it's not on the cards. Like I'm gonna grade the cards, and then you can keep the little
It looks
thingy.
like you can take those things out pretty easily, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
Like
they're
you don't.
literally like that video I sent you of the dude opening it. It's literally like in a penny sleeve and then in a slit, and then the penny sleeve has like that tacky rubber stuff that they put on things sometimes. Like they're just like you can tell like they made the cardboard and they just kind of it's kind of like a like I don't want to say half-ass thing, but
It kind of is.
yeah,
Well, there's I'm looking at this one. There's a lot of bidding on it, which kind of worries me. But it's 12.25 and it ends in 19 hours. I might have to, if I want the price I want, I might have to try to get it in an auction. I just can't do $2,000. I don't think. I think 1,800 is like
here
pushing it.
here's a Mickey card ending in 9 seconds, and it's like minty looking.
Well, you got to do it now or forget it.
It's not signed or anything, and it
Well,
just
you just missed it.
sold. It just sold for about 225, 220.
The buyers are trying to force it down, but still a lot of buyers. I wonder how many people. I think that there's one guy in that Discord that has already dumped like 5K on it. He got like 3 sets plus a bunch of Mickeys. Now
It,
that is pretty bold. I mean, if you got the excess income, okay, but $5,000 for pure speculation, although we're confident in because we're not going to head against Disney, but like that doesn't mean I think you're going to double your money, within a year.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of money in the collectibles. That's the voice
I
I
don't
tell
know.
myself.
I think I might have to YOLO this Mickey. There's about 7 or 8 guys that were there, but the main guy, like Miller, I think his name is. Let me look it up here. What was I looking for? Like Disney Lorcana Board Game Geek. The main guy was Miller. Where's it at? Ryan Miller. And I think his signature is the one with the 3 dots. And a lot of these cards that are bidding for over 250 don't even have his signature on it. Yeah, that one I'm looking at has him and the second guy. I don't know. I think I just need to get this one.
Mm,
Then,
yeah.
then maybe buy another if they dip down to 100. It's
Here's
not
the thing.
signed.
I feel like we have steadied, right? Like the market's at very least steadied at this point,
Yeah.
for now anyways. Like we're around 2,000. You can maybe sneak one in for 1,800, but some dipshits are willing to pay 2,200 to not have to deal with the auctions, which is fine. Um, I'm gonna have to get one on the low end of that. But here's the thing: what's the realistic amount that this is gonna hit in a year?
In a year, I mean,
Like,
my
I'm gonna see what you think on that.
my value is all about grading. Like, I think the sets would probably hold steady. If I put a range on it, I think the sets when the first chapter releases is going to be like 1,500 to 3,000, somewhere in there. I think they might come down a little, they might go up a little, but they're going to chill. But I think the graded cards are easily 200 to 500 a piece. So that's kind of why I justified, like, we saw this in Pokemon over the years. People buy cards, grade them, sell them, buy more cards, grade them, sell them. Well, nobody's graded these yet. So, yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of people who do, but I mean, the value is going to be there.
Well, I think you'll even have just the thing itself with the cards, but even without being graded, are going to be pretty expensive. I think whenever the hype builds and people start talking and more people get in on it and more social media influencers get in on it, I think you could see these sets between 20 and 30,000. I know that seems ridiculous, but I thought 1,000 was ridiculous for these sets, and I was wrong. And we saw at height 3,000. So basically, what in my logic, I thought potentially a year from now maybe 10,000 at most. So my logic is I just tripled that because that's how wrong I was on my estimate. So I think you could very well see people going between 20 and 30,000. We saw it with fucking Pokemon during the hype.
Yeah, if we have like all out craze, like everybody loves this game, everybody's opening it, people want to play it and collect it. I mean, yeah, we're gonna see some crazy numbers. I think the Mickey Raw may be 1,000, and then the
For
set,
sure.
the set may be like 5 to 8. But I mean, if that can be sustained and like continue, then who knows?
I think you'll get
20 years
people.
from now, if people still talk about Lorcana, those are going to be the grails for sure. I mean, everybody knows that. It's just a matter of how well people are going to collect it and play it. But I mean, this is like the most hyped thing I've ever bought into outside of Pokemon.
Well, keep in mind, think about your internet bubbles too. So just keep that in mind. That's something
Yeah.
else too.
But
But
I went to freaking a local restaurant last Thursday
oh
or
shit, sorry.
Wednesday, and as we were leaving, I overheard this girl who was eating with her mom say, "Oh yeah, so the D23 Expo was today," and like we were walking away, but I heard her say that. Like the most random ass people love Disney. And even though Disney is like exponentially more weird, I think, than like Pokemon
Yes, it
to
is.
like as an adult, like people don't see that. Like it's more normal
Well,
than like
I
Pokemon.
I mean, I like a lot of Disney's as an adult. I just think it's how you look at it. But I think being obsessed with certain packs, with like loving it, like watching the movies, maybe even like watching it with your kids or playing the games or even collecting like I don't know DVDs and VHSs. I kind of get it, but like some of these people go hard. That's the level I don't get, which is weird because we do the same thing but with Pokemon. So
I see it
I'm
as
curious.
like, Pokemon is like a kid's thing and then they get out of it. And sure, like not everyone gets into Pokemon, but I would say Disney's reach is potentially even more. Like everybody watches Disney movies, everybody with kids, their kids, grandmas, like whether you're a kid or your target audience or not, like Disney.
Will it lead to sustained success though? That's really
I
about gameplay in art. I feel like that's really what it comes down to. It's nobody's questioning their reach. Everybody knows how extensive it is. I think it's can they sustain? Can they deal with failure and not give up? You know,
yeah.
they're going to have some sets that are going to fail, just like Pokemon did.
I don't know, man. Let me see if that Mickey's still available. It still is. 12. Two more people watched it since we started talking.
Yeah. Well, with this one, the guy has zero review. You think I should offer him like 1,800 and be like, look, you're gonna have an issue selling it, but I'm willing to give you this money because you review. I'm wondering if I should try that.
I don't know. I'd just be sketch with it.
Well, I'm protected by eBay, so if something happens, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I'll be like, as long as it, in perfect condition, I'll give you the best review you'll ever have. I don't know. I might actually like, I don't have a lot of options because it looks like I would really need closer to 2,000, but I don't want to. If I want to get it this week, I can't. Like, I don't know if I can do that unless I get cash money leaving the KC Con. That's the only way, and then I'm not gonna get it. Well, I would have to take a hit. I don't know.
I'm looking up lowest. Buy it nows plus shipping.
For the promos.
Just for everything. So the pins are, of course, the cheapest. You can buy a pin. Cheapest one on eBay right now is $45. Then you scroll down a little bit. There's the lowest Mickey card you can buy is $250. Another one for $250. That signed one I was looking at is the third cheapest on eBay, $250 plus $4 shipping. I'm gonna have to get that one. By the time I stop the search and it's still up, I'm getting that one, I think. I think in general they'll all drop a little more, like unsigned, hopefully more than the signed. Let's see what the cheapest set is here. I mean, there's really only 20 to 30 Mickeys listed. Maybe like 50, but that's a rough guesstimate. Yeah, cheapest one I'm seeing right now.
I don't know what you're on. I got 200.
See, they know I'm buying. They're showing me the expensive ones.
Some of it includes other things, but yeah, I mean, it's at least 170, it looks like. And I just can't imagine the pull's already that strong for these cards. Like, I just feel like we're gonna see it go continue going down. You know, it's a set. Honestly, at this point, the cheapest I think you're gonna get that set is like $1,500.
I see the cheapest on eBay, that guy you're talking about.
I don't know. I think if that one's still up tomorrow, I might see what I can do.
Or
And just like,
maybe do the same for that 2200 one. Second cheapest.
are they both pretty sketch?
The 2200 one, they got 76, and his other items are like Disney items. So he sells a little bit, but it looks like he got a lot of items from D23.
Well, why wouldn't you? You can make a living from fucking scalping this shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I'm not even talking about that. You saw it. You saw those Cinderella pins that were like 1,000 for the whole lot.
Yeah, Disney people be smoking something with all the pins. Jeez. I mean, to buy a little piece of metal, I guess they're limited edition. It's like Disney's thing to have a pin. But Jesus. Like, I had to search for D23, and then I finally just deleted it because there's so much random junk. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at sold D23 items.
What's the pin set?
I mean, there's so many damn pins, I don't even know what you're talking about. They got a set for every damn thing. Like, literally, I've been scrolling for like 10 seconds and I haven't seen like the same pin.
Look at all the different types of pins they have. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, can you
Let's see the
imagine
lure
being
for
a
these
Disney
pins.
pin collector?
I mean, they're out there apparently,
About to
and
look
they're
up.
out there in droves if they're paying these prices.
About to look up a Disney pin collection. Oh,
See, look at that. The Mice Rescuers, $800.
oh yeah,
Eight.
Disney pins are a definite thing on
Well,
YouTube.
you know what that's saying. That means they're the Rescuers. That was a early '70s movie, so you're looking at basically your boomers. Your boomers to older Gen Xers are buying shit. Younger boomers, older Gen Xers.
I'm watching a video of a family that collects pins, and their living room is filled with like square frames of pins.
Disney pins.
See, that's what I'm saying. These guys are like middle-aged, and it's like cool because they have a daughter. Like, same with Pokemon, but it's like, I don't know, people's parents didn't grow up with Pokemon. They just have fun because of their kids. Like, we're just now seeing, like, me and my kid are going to be growing up with Pokemon. but like Disney's been there for a long
Generations.
time.
Snow White, like I just saw that 85th anniversary of Snow White. That was one of their first. I think it was Snow White was the first movie, and then it was Sleeping Beauty, or shortly thereafter, Sleeping Beauty. So 85 years.
Yeah.
So that I mean that's 5 generations. That's literally every living generation, pretty much, has known and pretty much adored Disney. I think in the 70s they kind of struggled a little bit, but do you think people are making over 6 figures gross? Like gross revenue?
Uh, I mean, I just don't think there's that much stuff out there. Like maybe like secondhand selling, but I don't
Well,
know.
yeah.
Like going to
I mean,
D23, I mean, you'd have to buy a buttload to be 6 figures, but definitely 5 figures. I mean, if
if
people bought one of these sets every day, I mean, that's close to
if you
five figures right there. I bought that.
yeah.
I bought that Mickey, by the way.
Oh, you did? There you go.
I just said screw it. The centering is off a little, but don't care. It's done.
So now you pretty much can't buy anything. Is that what you're looking at for this KC Con?
Well, I don't have to pay up for these items until the end of next month. So I'm looking at the Lorcana Twitter and just checking some posts. They got some good ones. Looks like they were giving updates day to day basis on the throughout the weekend, and pretty much every day at the tip top start of the day, they'd say like, "Here's one on September 11th. All cards at D23 Expo, whether D23 Expo Collector Set or the Mickey." So they're officially calling the set like the Collector's Set. Distinguishing that from the Mickey itself.
They knew what they were fucking doing. You know,
Yeah.
Disney is not stupid. Okay, Disney is a lot of things. A lot of things. A conglomerate, potentially the some of the worst experiences with capitalism, and overall, sometimes just especially as of late, it's just a pretty shitty company with how they treat certain aspects of people and businesses and stuff. But they knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah. And then at the start of each day, they said we have approximately 300 copies of the collector's set.
I think it's more than that. I do think here's another thing. I mean, nobody's talking about it. I feel like I'm the only one talking about it. Why why do we believe there's only 900 made? Yes, there's 300 a day for sale, but they never said. I don't think I've ever read definitively where somebody said only 900 were made.
Yeah, I mean, we do have them saying it themselves, but
But they
it's
say
like
900,
it's like
900
300 are available at the booth. Come by. Like that's the
exactly,
only official thing we hear.
and they never actually say because 100 more does make a big difference.
Here's something that said, some of you shared feedback regarding quantities and online availability. While we can't make that happen for this set, we do appreciate the input and will consider this for future events. So even if future event sets get, better treatment and online availability, like it sounds like they're not going to revisit this.
I don't know why it's called D23. Do you?
It's like their special collectors club, but I don't
I,
know
I get
why
that, but
it's
what?
23.
Yeah, like what's the importance of 23? Is it? I don't know. It's only every 2 years. I don't know if I told you that though.
It
The
represents 1923, the year Walt Disney arrived in California.
Okay, that makes sense. But what was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. Mm, No, I've
And
lost it.
they also said, like, you know, when it comes out in the main set, it's going to be without the D23 mark. But
Well,
they
yeah,
said
that's what
nothing
we've already
about the
said.
first edition mark. So I think there's going to be first
In
edition
first
print run.
edition, I think that's at least for the first year. I think that's what Disney's gonna do. They're following Pokemon's path, and then they'll stop making the. They're building a market, is what they're doing. They are building a market from the very beginning with the collector's cash that's around them, and it's pretty obvious to me. I mean, should be pretty obvious to everybody. But they're already, you know how Pokemon kind of has. They have like a lot of this more mystique surrounding it. Disney doesn't really have that, so they're trying to create it because thought nobody knew Pokemon was going to be a big deal, so nobody saved a lot of the things for Pokemon, and that's why some of the stuff obviously is so sought after. But Disney's trying to create that, it's trying to catch that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but that's just what they're doing right now, and I, I don't know.
Looks like there's already a Lorcana podcast.
Damn! What do you? Oh my god! I was wondering about that. I was like, I wonder if what if I don't know if you didn't want to do it. What if I ventured into the Lorcana world? I mean, every chode is going to have it.
I would like to make videos. Like when I get these cards, I'm going to make a video for sure. But I'd like to open maybe a booster box. When this stuff comes out, like, I'm not going to go hard, but I'd like to, like, do a video and talk about it in a few videos just to, like, put the word out.
I'll buy a booster box
Because, I
and
mean,
open it.
I'll wait till you buy them, but I'm going to be going all over the Discords, like, up talking this now that I got the cards coming. Because, I mean,
Well,
man,
just
I'm hyped for the just collectability, the art, and the playability. Like, everything looks
I
awesome to
mean,
me.
I am definitely gonna like be dabbling in it. Like I'm gonna be buying these cards like for as a collector. Like no doubt about it. I definitely will be. Few packs and just see what happens, and maybe start buying singles if they aren't crazy price, and just follow the same MO as Pokemon, and just certain cards buy, other cards don't.
I don't think I'm going to collect unless it's like, I don't know, a specific set. Like if they start making Kingdom Hearts cards or something like that. But I'll be happy not collecting if I have like the set and Mickey. Like knowing that I have the thing to collect. And
Well, what I'm thinking is they're going to have other cards leading up to it. There's other events that they can drop promos for, and right now we're fortunate because there's very few people paying attention, and I think it's going to be like that more or less for the next couple months. However, as it starts getting closer to launch, and let's say next spring, they start building up that hype and those promos. Like I think they're going to be several $1,000s, and that's the ones people are going to be going after. And they might be out of our price range.
yeah,
Like I mean, I could do 2,000 on this, and I'm pushing it to do it, but like I can do it. But like 4,000, I don't think I can do that.
here's a dude's experience. He purchased a Saturday pass on an aftermarket so that he could attend D23. Drove 1.5 hours, arrived at the D23 line at 6:30 a.m., let in at 9:05 a.m., and I ran to the Ravensburger booth. The line currently has over 500 people in it, and there are only 306 cards available per day. I'll be able to get the free Mickey card but no set, and the line was capped right behind me. So if he said over 500 and they're capping the line, maybe There's like
There's,
500 to 1,000 Mickeys that they wanted to hand out, and that'd be it. He said it's really the only reason I came here, and I'm not really sure how 499 people got here before me. All that I can assume is that people who reserved space in the Marvel D20 event hall were let in early. I also assume that based on eBay demand from yesterday, the booth became more popular and there will be more listed today than yesterday. So this is day 2. And yeah, we definitely saw that.
so basically, almost we're looking at whether for better or for worse. It's worse for on-site collectors, but what this means is actually good for us in some ways.
Yeah,
Because
people
what this
there
means,
couldn't get it.
because people were reselling it on eBay, which means that quite a few of those made it into speculators, investors, business people hands, and they're selling it, which leads me to believe maybe more than 50% is going to be on the market sooner than we think. And what I'm seeing is there's constantly 45, 50, 45, 50, 10 sell, 45, 50. It's like a constant ebb and flow of maintaining the amount that's on eBay. It's never dipped below 40 from what I have seen in the last few days. But it keeps on selling it more and more listings. Obviously, not all the sold listings were ones that sold and some were reposted, right? But like what that says to me is that it's almost inevitable that you're going to see a little bit of a pullback on this because I don't think there's 900 people or 900 boxes that people are willing to buy at 1,500 a pop right now. I mean, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's cut that in half. Let's say 500 or so. Do you think there's 500? I don't know about that either. Not at this price point. Get it down to $500, yeah, but 1,500, I don't know.
It just seems like the hype is so big still right now, but I mean, maybe it's justified. I mean, I saw all over the Reddit like bad experiences, and then it seems like specifically for Lorcana, I mean, these were even worse. But people saying like they flew in from Florida. I just saw a comment and they only came for the cards and couldn't get anything.
Well, I mean, that's kind of your own damn fault.
Yeah.
Like, you literally found out. I mean, well, no, I guess they did release. They did. It was 3 weeks before, so you did have some plans. But like, I don't know. Nobody could have predicted like the Marvel thing, but I guess they. But that is messed up on Disney. Like, you shouldn't be able to leave the Marvel area, or you should have distinctions like hallways, right, or something. I
Say,
don't
I,
know.
I don't even know. I've only been to a few con type events. I just sent you another article that is apparently another interview with Ryan Miller that people were talking about on Reddit about being good. But yeah, I don't know. They're always a nightmare. There's always long lines. This one seemed particularly bad because it was Disney and it was the first event since like collectibles craze. Apparently, in that interview, which I'm going to look at, it said, this is just the Reddit comments. The thing they talked about, how Lorcana cards could appear in anything Disney related, movies, DVD, events, made me realize that this game can easily become hell if you're a dedicated collector. So that's something I didn't think about. They could throw in a promo for
Movies,
DVDs,
movies.
movie promos like Ancient Me back in the day. Go to a premiere, you get the special Lorcana card. I mean, I could easily. I mean, it's exactly just like Pokemon. They could easily do that so easy. 4 cycles a year with promos.
But not every promo is going to be worth getting if you're just after the big money ones.
Yeah.
Nor am I interested in getting the trophies. I've never been interested in trophies, but this is different. These are promos. The first ones,
It seems like they're focusing on the gameplay more than anything, which is good. If you're not talking about the promos, but just characters, like, what do you think the Charizard of Lorcana will be aside from like Mickey? Of course, like every Mickey card is
so
gonna
here's
be
my
like
thing with that card is
big.
that art isn't amazing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
people,
cool, but it's Mickey, but it's not like. I think
yeah,
the
that's
Elsa
what
is the best looking card.
I think it's the Robin Hood.
I like the Robin Hood too.
I think it's although Elsa is also going to be big as well, but
I
the
like the
Robin Hood,
Maleficent a lot too.
the Robin Hood has the amber like warm colors, and I was always a big fan of Robin Hood, so I might be a little biased, but
I think
none of those there.
Elsa just like the art style that I love the most. I mean, Elsa like captures that really well. And like I have one of my favorite artists. He kind of makes a lot of like random things, but he has like a swirl design just like Elsa's doing with her little swirls. His name's Luzumaki. He's like Japanese artist. He's pretty cool with some of the stuff he makes, but it almost looks like little swirls.
I honestly don't think any of these here are going to be the Charizard.
There's going to be, these promos are always going to be special. And then Mickey's going to be special, but there's going to be a card, maybe in that first set, that's like a classic Mickey. That's going to be like the,
Yeah,
the chase card of the set.
it's going to be
Hopefully,
Fantasia 2000. It's going to be Fantasia 2000, or it's going to be the Steamboat with Illy one.
yeah.
It's
Hopefully,
going to be one
hopefully
of
there's
those two.
more Mickeys than just the Taylor Mickey.
Yeah, I can guarantee you there's going to be a couple, and I can even see them having. I don't think they're going to go secret rares off the bat because they're going to want everybody to have access. Or if they do make, they're going to make cards that are gorgeous secret rares, but they aren't relevant to gameplay. So basically, for collectors and for gameplay, they'll. I hope that they are able to think of that. Okay, we're going to make something for the collectors. We're going to make something for the people that want to play. We're going to do that for every set, and then we're going to have one where it focuses more on the other, just like what Pokemon does.
In that
So,
article, of the very last paragraph, that article says there was only 300 each day as well. And it also said everyone in line gets a Mickey and pin. So I wonder if they cut off the line fearing that they were going to run out of Mickey Mouse cards.
well,
And
people saying that they were picking up 10 shit at a time.
yeah. Well, and, they said they ran out of both like every day. So they had enough people going through the line where they ran out. And if you take that and apply it to that random guy's comment, if somehow that's true, we're like about 500 people. I mean, you're looking at,
5 to 7,000.
well, I mean, potentially 1,500 if they had 500, but I think that's way low.
No, that's not right. I think 5,000 might be an actual solid estimate.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. It's all 3 days, right? So you're talking about. Wait, well, no, never mind. Talking about 500 each day. No, I think it's going to be 5,000. It sounds like it's 5 to 7,000. How many? It's most people are going to potentially grade them, but I mean, it has the precipice of the Charizard. I just don't think the art's going to be there. I think it's always going to maintain its value, more or less, but it's not going to be what collectors are going to be after. And no collector is going to be dishing out 6 figures for a modern card either. It's something to consider. Everybody's going to be sending the shit straight to the grading. So the stuff that's going to be most expensive, like you have like the Moonbryon is going up a little bit. That's hitting $500 now. If that gives you an idea, if they follow something similar, so you're looking at 7,000, maybe 10,000 is their most for a modern card in a set that you're going to see. Absolute most. So you're looking at your promos, and if that's the case with these promos, I mean the only ones. Okay, so this something else to consider too is they can also do exclusive promos at their parks.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing. I mean, if they just take a set card and just add a stamp on it, I mean, yeah, they have almost more possibilities than Pokemon. Like Pokemon
I,
has pre-releases or certain stamps, but I mean, they could release it in a movie premiere, a park, a certain, you know, event, Halloween park.
I'm gonna say here's the thing though. Variants aren't always aren't the best ones for surefire moonshots when it comes to like going up in price. That's something that I had to consider when dealing with that Greninja. Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason why that 100 copy one, the TV Tokyo one, hasn't skyrocketed in price, and you got to question if it will long term, even though there's only 100 copies of it and it's like a $5,000 card right now. Like, will it ever go to six figures? I just don't think so because it's a variant, and how you came about that variant isn't very cool. But yeah, you're looking
Oh
at
man,
promos,
this
five
is
hundred
crazy.
dollars. You're looking at like I don't know. The hype is going to be unreal.
And that's why I was okay paying like what I did. Like, just think of all those graded. I mean, you think of those cards being like $200 for a graded card. I really think that is like super easy, even if it like semi succeeds. I mean, you
What
have
if
like
they aren't near mint though?
you have random TCGs that are just garbage that are more than that graded because they're, cool. Yeah, not near mint. I don't know. It depends how easy these are to grade. I mean, with the black borders, they might be really hard, but
And everybody's going to have an eight or higher, you would think, unless I mean most of them. But still, if it's a seven or better, you hit jackpot, right? Or if you get seven or better, you're doing it right. If you can get eight or better, you're sitting really well. And then obviously a 9 or a 10 would just be amazing.
yeah, I might grade this set that I get, and if I get any tens, I'll try to sell them ASAP. But
I
I don't
wouldn't.
know.
I wouldn't if I were you,
I mean, I'd buy the
because
nines immediately if
you're
nines were
not
up.
gonna you're not gonna be the first to hit market. There's already like 20 people that have already submitted cards.
Yeah, I
So I
don't know.
mean,
It's just all crazy. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
yeah, I mean, I think you're better off at this point just sitting tight. If you're gonna grade them in the next 6 months. I think a lot of people are banking on as the hype builds, so will the demand for these products. And I think that's a sure thing. I do. I think there is going to be crazy hype, and if they time this right, they can coincide this with a big movie, a Marvel movie. They can anything. The thing keeping movie theaters going is Disney.
Yep, it's just insane.